far in the league this season?
I have to say, let me call myself out now. You know, Heartland FC, I wasn't full of great expectations for Heartland at the start of the season. I wasn't. And because of the manner in which they returned to the league, because just for context, most times teams that are just not good enough find themselves, because at the end of a 38-game season, usually, because that's how long a typical league season lasts. Yeah, there are some exceptions, like look at the German Bundesliga, it's 34 games because of the number of teams that are there. But in a typical 38-game season, usually on match week 38, every team that is in a position, that finds themselves in one position or the other, deserves to be there. Because the league is not a sprint, but a marathon. So wherever you find yourself, whether you're first or 20th, you deserve to be there. You didn't get the results that you needed to get to escape relegation. And then, of course, if you're first or second or thereabouts, you got the results needed to be in a good place. So Heartland were deservedly relegated. And normally what happens is that when you get relegated from a league, a typical league, the team that gets relegated usually has at least one season to get things right. Okay, fine, why were we relegated? They do some stock taking. They ask, okay, what was it that made us get relegated? What didn't we do right? What are the things that we did wrong? How do we make adjustments? Who do we hire? Who do we fire? Who are those that are surplus to requirements? Is it a player issue? Is it a managerial issue? Is it an administrative issue? You know, these are the hard questions that are asked. And then usually you have about one season, at least one season, to get it right. That is assuming the team bounces back immediately. So normally, that one season in the lower leagues, that's in the second tier of the football pyramid of whatever country's association, you have that one season to get things right. If you don't get it very right there, you have another season or so, and then normally the team bounces back. So that was why I was skeptical. That was why I was really sort of a little bit upset that, you know, some things willing and dealing happen behind the scenes. Not because I have anything against Heartland FC, but because the benefit of staying at least one season in the lower division gives you some experience and then helps you, right the wrongs. And then you bounce back at the earliest the next season. So when they bounced back, because they had a caveat, there was a slot for them to get, and they exchanged places with Beyond Limits, I was skeptical. But eventually, when they signed the services of Emmanuel Alamnike, the legend himself, remember he's the winner, he's a World Cup winner, under 17 World Cup winner. He's one of those that discovered Victor Osimhen, Ababola himself, amongst other players. So he's a legend in his own right, not just as a player, but as a manager. So when he was hired, and then initially the results were not going very well, then I started seeing them get some results. Then I remember that Ugandan proverb that goes this way, that an army of lions led by a sheep will always be defeated by an army of sheep led by a lion. So it tells you that everything rises and falls on leadership. So the leadership, and of course I have to give a bit of credit, just a bit, a bit of credit to the Imo State government for allowing that to happen. Because why I'm saying that is, for whatever reason, they messed up things when Chris Onobi of blessed memory was there, and they were having a free fall last season, and then they had to get him out of the way and then bring in Kennedy Boboye, and then results were coming. But for whatever reasons best known to them, they terminated Kennedy Boboye's contract, they parted ways, and then reinstated Chris Onobi. Then they got relegated. No, I don't speak ill of the dead, but he gave what he could give, and unfortunately they were relegated. So I have to commend the Imo State government, led by His Excellency Governor Hope Uzodimma, to ensure that they got the right, a square peg in a square hole. And I think they're going to enjoy the fortunes. The way Heartland are going right now, I don't think they'll get relegated. So I'm surprised, pleasantly surprised by Heartland and what they're doing right now.
Do you see it as maybe a case of a season wonder? If you get relegated, then you get the bounce to get back into the league by a sneak door, then you just have a good run of form that keeps you up.
I really don't think so. I think they will do well. I think so. If continuity is ensured and they don't, there's no interference, because normally we see government interference in sports, government interference in the team. Even if you're bankrolling the team, sometimes you need to just sit back and allow them do their thing. because they are footballers. Yes, you might be administrators.
Sorry to cut you short, but going back to what you said about teams deserving dispositions they've got, I mean, we've seen seasons where it's down to the last day, it's down to the wire, from both 17th down to 20th aren't safe in their positions. 20th can still survive, 19th can still survive, 18th can still survive. So using that, everybody deserves to be in their position. It could differ in that kind of situation. I mean,
no, the fact that a team has to wait, like we are Nigerians, we're used to that. No permutations. Okay, if you get, if we score by 3 goals, and then the other team maybe they get a draw, 1-1 draw, 1-1, not 2-2, not goalless, 1-1 draw. Somehow find a way. No, we're used to those permutations. But the issue is this. I'm going to borrow the words of the great defender, one of the greatest defenders of all time, Paolo Maldini. He said something once. He said, if I have to make a tackle, then I've already made a mistake. So it's all about being proactive. If a team is proactive, they will avoid the relegation waters in the first place. They won't find themselves in that position to escape narrowly. Whenever I see teams that narrowly escape relegation and they're rejoicing and all that, I'm happy for them. But I know that if they don't fix the problems that put them in that relegation dogfight in the first place, I mean, look at Everton, for instance,
will be going back
in England.
To that
yeah, so they just, insanity is trying to do the same thing over and over and then expect a different result. So that's my stand. So at the end of a 38-game season, naturally, every team always deserves to be where they are.
Well, could have said it better.
Okay, so we'll move straight. We're still in... the transfer window is open and we're going to be waiting to see any information. Like I said, all the info that's going to come concerning the transfers, we're going to be sending to you live and direct from Afia Sports Show. You're going to find out what's happening, the wheeling and dealing. Some transfers have happened in the MPFL, and we're going to just give you some details of that before we move straight to Europe and then discuss things. There will be EPL action kicking off today. That's the English Premier League. And then also there's going to be the Spanish, not the Spanish La Liga. There was a La Liga game yesterday where Real Madrid, in a very dramatic manner, got a win over Valencia. I know that Emeka is upset about that, but he will explain why he's upset when we come back from this break. We're going to talk about that, and then of course the cups. Most of the teams in Europe leagues have cup games, like you have Coppa Italia for the Italian Serie A, Copa del Rey for the Spanish Football Association, and so on and so forth. But we're going to give you all these bits when we return from this short break.
Welcome to Afia TV, your go-to channel for excellent news and incredible shows that keeps you IEI, that is, informed, entertained, and inspired. Need a break?
Ladies and germs, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV.
Join Choco to vibe and chill on Lunch Break at 2 p.m. for the latest trends in music and entertainment.
Not like I have big money.
Dive into the world of innovation and creativity with Rochelle on Anka.
It means art in English.
Where creative minds and groundbreaking ideas come to life. Tune in every weekday at 8 p.m. Do not miss Afia TV Official, your perfect dose of laughter, where they discuss what is currently trending on social media every day at 5:30 p.m. on Afia TV.
But in this economy, the savings will save you, man.
And that's not all. Stay tuned for more exciting shows on Afia TV. Catch us on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and...
An incompetent means an incompetent person.
you're welcome back to the Afia Sports Show on Afia TV, where you can get us on DSTV on channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. We are still on the issue of the reviews and previews from 2024, I beg your pardon, and then currently 2025. We are on the 4th day. Today is the 4th day of January, and we're beginning the world of sports. We've been talking about this. And just before we continue from where we stopped about, referring to the Spanish football that happened yesterday, the game in hand, remember that game between Valencia and Real Madrid that was postponed because of the flood, the unfortunate flood that claimed many lives. It's quite unfortunate that it happened. But before we talk about that, there are 2 confirmed transfers that we can just give you from the MPFL. And that has to do with, first of all, Daniel Daga. Daniel Daga of Eimba has left Eimba, and it's confirmed that he's gone to Molde FK in Norway. So Daniel Daga, the midfielder, is no longer a part of Eimba. He's gone there and he's going to sign this January with Molde FK. So we say the best of luck to him. Best of luck to him. When you see greener pastures, you go there. But remember, they always say that grass is greener on the other side, but that's because somebody's watering the other side. So you water your own side too. That's a topic for another day. Then the second transfer that's confirmed is Deputy Echeta from Rivers United. He has finally left, and it's confirmed that he's now going to be a player. The winger is going to be a player of Zako Sports Club in Iraq. Iraq, yes, I said Iraq. You heard me right, Iraq. Well, it is what it is. Now, of course, we wish him all the best. Deputy Echeta, just go there, do your stuff, and then we hope that you're going to get better opportunities to show what Niger spirits are made of in the MPFL and beyond. Now, going back to the game that happened yesterday, that was the game in hand. Real Madrid had to take that trip to the Mestalla Stadium in the Valencia region because Valencia were not able to play against Real Madrid because there was a flood that happened late last year and the match was postponed. Unfortunately, every team that was domiciled in the Valencia region had to postpone their games because a flood occurred. Now, that flood in 8 minutes, I believe, yes, in about 8 minutes, 1 year's accumulation of floods happened within 8 minutes, and it was disastrous. There were catastrophes that happened, many lives were lost, and we wish the souls that were lost a repose into the next life, and we pray for their loved ones. But still, the show had to go on, and then Valencia found themselves playing against Real Madrid. It was a very, very feisty game, a game that had goals and a lot of drama. Many people felt that Real Madrid were with their backs against the rope. There were opportunities. He had everything that you can think about. For instance, when Valencia scored, first of all, the Real Madrid had a disallowed goal, one that was scored by Kylian Mbappe, but it was disallowed, and then also a penalty miss. That penalty that was almost scored by Jude Bellingham. And then a red card, Vinicius Jr., who feels aggrieved. I'm happy that he was taken down there before he did something foolish, and then maybe earned himself more games, a higher number of games of suspension. But he found himself receiving a red card after a VAR review, and he felt hard done by. And I think that was what galvanized the Real Madrid team to play with a siege mentality. And as a result, that siege mentality helped them because they got back into it. Because of that red card that happened there, that was given to Vinicius Jr., a change happened. Dani Ceballos was taken off. And then the old man himself, somebody who's going to turn 40 in October, referring to none other than the Croatian maestro, the genius himself, that is Luka Modric. He came on and then he scored the equalizer. And there was a bit of life in it. And then late in the game, deep in stoppage time, Valencia just had to hold on. That's all they had to do. They just had to hold on. They were not able to hold on. And then football showed why football is very merciless at times and unforgiving. And Jude Bellingham spared his blushes after missing that penalty and scored the winning goal. I know that somebody in this studio with me is not happy about what happened yesterday. And I'm going to, first of all, in the words of Daniel Gumodede, to his dear friend, Fidelis Lechuku, enjoy the sadness, embrace the sadness, and move forward. But tell us why you're sad.
I mean, let's analyze that game again.
Okay.
Valencia take the lead.
Yeah.
Mbappe gets a goal disallowed through offside.
Yeah.
Bellingham then misses a penalty. It's the heavens opening up for Valencia to take their chance. Either get another goal to seal off the game, or you hold what you have. There comes the Croatian maestro, Modric levels the game. You kill the game there. Valencia, you just have to kill the game there. Hold them to a 1-1 draw, get the points. Everything goes to hell, and Bellingham has to just put in the 90-minute goal. I mean, from a neutral perspective, it's beautiful football. But from a Barca perspective, this is not what you want to see. I mean, you don't expect Valencia to beat Madrid on a normal day, but they had the opportunity to either beat them or hold them to a draw there. You just have to do that. You just have to do that.
Okay, for the sake of clarity, let me tell our viewers, our millions of viewers out there, that you're hearing the voice and the words of a pained man. Somebody who is trying to mask his pain with smiles. These are cosmetic smiles. Because he is of the Blaugrana persuasion. For Barcelona, we don't have
to do this.
No, we don't have to do this. We are the bastion of truth. Here in Afia TV, we have to tell the truth. No matter whose ox is God, and that's why we're here. So I'm telling them the truth.
I see what we're doing.
Yeah. So, but really, though, just take heart. These things will happen. And as a result, Real Madrid find themselves first on the log, actually, albeit having played the game more than Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid have 41 points. Real Madrid have 43 points. So you're looking at the team that is top of the log there. Real Madrid are sitting pretty on top, but Atletico have a game in hand. Barca are third. Now, Barca are a little bit off the pace because they are on 38 points. That means they are 3 points behind Atletico Madrid, having played a game more. And that just tells that if Atletico Madrid win their game, they will leapfrog Real Madrid and then get into the first position with a point, having a point ahead of Real Madrid. But that's a big if. All things can happen, but Atletico Madrid are looking very strong this season. So I think it's shaping up. The second half of the season is going to start, and I'm sure we expected it. Maybe not in this exact order, but we expected that this was going to be a 3-horse race, and it's looking like it's going to be a 3-horse race.
Well, it is going to be a 3-horse race. I mean, you've seen a team like Barcelona who has held the lead for most of the season. Quite a bad run of form from November into December. Find themselves now all of a sudden from first to third. Atletico Madrid leapfrogged into first. Madrid playing their game in hand now find themselves back in first. Atletico still have the opportunity to climb back up. I mean, you can never... This week, Atletico might lose. Madrid might draw or lose. Barca might win or draw or lose. You just don't know where the league is going. Because, I mean, any of these three teams could still win it. Any of these three teams could still win. Never discount Madrid. They are always favorites to win the league, given the powers of the big man himself, Carlo Ancelotti. You've still got another manager who is desperate to show that he's very relevant in this Spanish La Liga. I'm talking about the man at the helm of Atletico Madrid. We're talking about Diego Simeone. He's one who has always been in the shadows of both Barca and Real Madrid. But this season he wants to prove that, I can go out for the title. Notwithstanding what Madrid do, notwithstanding what Barcelona do, I can go out there, prove that Atletico Madrid are worthy to win the league. At least, if not everything in Spain, just the league would do. You've still got Hansi Flick, an experienced world-class winner. He has done it with Bayern, he has done it with a few other teams that he has coached. Can we see him maybe getting his team back on track? We don't know that yet. But something needs to be done at that Barca side. You have to put November and December behind you. You've got to look forward. You say, okay, this is January. If there's anybody we need to get in, let's get in the man. If there's anybody that needs to be leaving, let's get the man out of the club. Get the system right, get everything on track. See if we can get, notwithstanding the results of both Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, try and get your results. Get the wins. No draws, no defeats, get the wins. See what the league, if the league is faithful to you. I mean, at this point, is who the league wants to favor. At this point, it's there to favor. That's all I can say.
So you do what you will with the favor that you get. That's exactly. Because some teams don't leverage on the favor that they get. And speaking of favors, I think Atletico Madrid are doing themselves a lot of favor because it's safe to say that Cholo himself, that is Diego Simeone, is the most successful manager that Atletico Madrid has had in recent years. No, even more successful than others before him. Because what I'm saying
let's take into fact, so it's sure that they are the only team in Spain that have not lost. They've had draws, they've had wins and they've had draws, but they've not had any defeats. Real Madrid have defeats. Barca have 5, more than any other person in the top 6, so I have to say. But I mean, Atletico Madrid do look like the most informed team right now, not even Real Madrid or Barca. If you're to ask me my predictions, I know it's too early to call, but I do see maybe if Barca can't get it right, it will be Atletico Madrid first, Real Madrid second, Barca third. I do see it staying that way.
It could happen. Either way.
Could happen.
The beauty of this game is that it could be either of these three teams that will win the league. And I mean, from a purist standpoint, I'll love it. And I'll just love to see good football, and then whoever wins deserves to win at the end of the day. Because Atletico Madrid have been doing very well. Well, ever since Cholo, this is his 14th season as the manager of Atletico Madrid since 2011, the summer of 2011. He joined Atletico Madrid, and then he's been doing very well. He's won 2 La Liga titles with them. He's won 2 Europa League titles with them, and he's been in 2 Champions League finals. The bitter pill is the fact that he lost those finals to the same team, his bitter cross-city rivals, that is Real Madrid. But, I mean, no matter what happens, we're all going to give Diego Simeone his flowers for all that. So while we're still on the issue of Spanish football, the Copa del Rey, I think the fixtures are meant to be coming up on the screen any moment from now.
I
Copa
do
del
want
Rey.
to say this, yeah. The Copa del Rey fixtures do promise to be a bloodbath on the field because, I mean, you do have a lot of key fixtures coming up.
Yeah.
And I wait for the fixtures to come up on the screen. But I from a neutral perspective, before I go to Barca, Barca's game today could maybe give them spirits if they could pull off this win against their opponents. Could give them spirits. I mean, Flick is back at the helm after his suspension. He could maybe motivate the boys to get them back on track. Who knows? January could favor them like October, but it's still yet to see. But other key fixtures in the Copa del Rey, I do fancy Atletico Madrid going through. I do fancy a Sevilla side going through as well. They have one of the easiest opponents in the Copa del Rey, not discrediting the opponents actually, but like on paper, Sevilla should go through on that, on run of form, and based on paper, Barca should go through, Atletico should go through, Bilbao as well should go through. Those are the teams that I predict for today going through in the Copa del Rey. I don't know if you have any other fixtures.
Okay, so yeah, the fixtures. Well, let me just call out the fixtures here. I think there's a little glitch, but the fixtures for today, the Copa del Rey fixtures, you have Huesca up against Real Betis, and then Tenerife up against Osasuna, and then Almeria up against Sevilla. Then Union Deportivo will be facing Barcelona. They'll be hosting them. Then Marbella will be facing Atletico Madrid. And then Logroñés will be facing Athletic Bilbao. Now, these are the fixtures for today, and we're going to see how that pans out. There will be other fixtures too. That's the Italian Coppa Italia. But before we move on to Coppa Italia, let's go straight to where we should go to, because there will be games today. We're taking our flight. Now, like I said, my flight is my flight. I'm just allowing Emeka to attach. And we're taking a flight straight to England because today the EPL will kick off with some very, very tasty fixtures, very important games. And match week 20 we have there. Tottenham Hotspur will be coming up against Newcastle United in the early fixture, 1:30 p.m. Yeah, Spurs are Spursy, but I mean, let's keep our fingers crossed. Then the Midlands Derby, Aston Villa will be coming up against Leicester City. And then Bournemouth will be hosting Everton Football Club. Then Crystal Palace up against Chelsea. Emeka, don't cringe, just think about it.
Oh, I'm actually very confident in this
I hope you are. The same way you are confident when Fulham visited
a little bit of Hickey Hakara.
Yeah. So Crystal Palace will be hosting Chelsea, and that's going to be at Selhurst Park. And then Man City. Man City hosts West Ham United. Now that's going to be. We want to know whether that game that was a false dawn or whether it's just back to type. And then Southampton will be hosting Brentford. And then the last game for today will be Brighton and Hove Albion up against Arsenal. That's a grudge match indeed for various reasons. And then you have Fulham. That's going to be from tomorrow, being Sunday. The main games are going to be Fulham up against Ipswich. And then the big one, the biggest game of the weekend. And I dare say the biggest game in all competitions, in all leagues, major leagues anyway, will have to be the Northwest of England derby between Liverpool Football Club and Man United. These two teams have 39 league titles between them. And then Wolverhampton Wanderers will be hosting Nottingham Forest in the Midlands Derby.
Before we get to run through the games, let's bring in a little bit of banter because that's part of the modern day football.
Fine, I'm all for it.
Reading through Twitter, reading through everybody's expectations for this West London derby, derby. Man United fans are saying they should just forfeit the game and give Liverpool the 3 points. They don't want to go there and get battered. Well, you never know. Almiron might just pull up a shock today. I mean, whenever you least expect United to pull off a good performance, they normally have a good performance. And that's the key fixture right there.
Yeah,
who is going to take it?
Now you're looking at the fixture right behind us. I mean, it's a fixture that's so close to our hearts. That's why it's behind us there. And that's it. Liverpool up against Man United, and you're looking at the two stars. Unfortunately, Mohamed Salah.
Might I just say this? Might I just say this? Football has to just take its norms. I do see Liverpool winning United. I don't see the fixture going either way. I don't see a draw. I don't see a defeat for Liverpool. Straight win for Liverpool is what I see.
Now, Liverpool Football Club, yeah, Emeka has said his own mind. Liverpool Football Club, they are the hot favourites, no doubt about it. I mean, come on, they are the most informed team in Europe.
Let's put sentiments aside.
No,
I mean, even Chelsea fans will be wanting Liverpool to lose.
There's no sentiment. There's no sentiment at all. I'm being fact. Okay. I call it a spade, not a garden implement. But, the fact remains that Liverpool are the informed team. Haven't lost just one game. They are the best team at home and the best team on the road. They've not lost a game.
Europe as well.
In Europe, of course, they've won all their 6 games in the UEFA Champions League. The only unbeaten side without a blemish to their record. So Arne Slot has really done something fantastic. And but Amorim, that was Ruben Amorim. Yes, he wasn't in the dugout when that happened. When Ten Hag was there, when they were battered and bruised, 3-0. I'm trying to remember who was sent off in that game. There was a red card for the Man U.
If I'm not mistaken, that should be the Butcher of Amsterdam. Or
I'll verify who. I don't think it was
him.
I'm
not too sure.
I'll verify who.
It was a defender.
There was a red card in that game. That I remember. Once we get that, we're going to let you know. But the people might say, okay, it was a red card, so that's why it was a one-sided game, 3-0 at Old Trafford. This time around, they're going to...
I mean, you don't always have to blame the red card. You do see teams win matches with red cards as well.
This is the same Liverpool that are battered and bruised. Thank you very much. I think it was Diogo Dalot. Yes, Diogo Dalot. Dalot, the Portuguese wing, fullback, got himself a red card, and then the Heavens, what Heavens?
The Heavens, they didn't shine their favours on
United. On them, yeah. So right now they have revenge. It's a grudge match. They want to go there, and then 11 against 11, they'll play for honor and try to get something.
I hope there's no red card as well.
We hope so, either with no red card. But you have to give a lot of credit to Arne Slot. This Liverpool side looked very drilled and disciplined. Yes, they play as a team. They play as a unit.
I mean, many will say he inherited a very good squad from Jurgen Klopp.
But it's true, he did inherit a very good squad from Jurgen Klopp. But it's not just about inheriting the squad. How good a cook are you? You can have all the ingredients, but you're a lousy cook. And then you just cook something that gives everybody food poisoning. But you have all the ingredients.
You might have all the spices to make the most beautiful jollof ever, but
his mind is on jollof. And since your mind is on jollof, we'll get back to what this is the main fixture. So okay, just give us a straight prediction, because we're going to go on a very short break and then return and then talk about the remaining fixtures.
I don't want United fans to come after me, but I will give a 4-0 win to Liverpool.
4-0.
Aggregate 7-0.
3-0, a man down. 4-0, potentially 11 against 11.
4-0.
Do you hate Man U that much?
Yes.
Yeah, there you hear it. There you have it. Emeka has publicly declared his reverse love. I don't want to use the word hatred. His reverse love for Manchester United. So, Man United fans, know that you're coming after him. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just a silent bystander that's watching and observing.
Oh, no, you do have to give your predictions.
I will give my predictions. I will, yeah. Okay, let me be bold. Yes, I'll be very bold. This is going to be a draw. A goalless draw. Take that to the bank. As we return from this break, we will continue and then find out why it's going to be a goalless draw after these short messages.
What your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence. You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Gyna Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastfeeding. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
You're welcome back to the final leg of the Afia Sports Show on Afia TV, where you can get us on DSTV channel 254 or GoTV channel 17. And we're here discussing things sports. I still remain my humble self, CC Emechebe, aka CC the Rabbi, on the home of sports. And we have the priest of football. I don't know what you're saying. The priest of football is here. Whether he's a false priest, I don't know. But the priest of football is here. And we will continue from the Premier League games for today, but we're going to start on a very, well, a sad note. Yeah. It happened within the week. I think that should be on Thursday. The oldest Olympic gold medal winner passed away. I'm referring to Agnes Keleti, the Hungarian champion, 5-time Olympic gold medalist. You know, she was a gymnast. She won a total of, I think that was 11 Olympic medals, but 5 of them were gold medals, especially during the Olympics in 1956. Now, this is somebody who was a Holocaust survivor. She was she became a Hungarian. She was a Hungarian and also an Israeli citizen. A little later, she narrowly escaped the Holocaust. She would have been gassed in the chambers during the World War II Nazi inspired Holocaust that happened. But she survived against all odds and then became a very, very successful sportswoman. She passed away at the ripe old age of 103, just a few days before her 104th birthday. She's supposed to turn 104. That's on the 9th of January. So really, our thoughts go out to her family and everybody that was there. And then, of course, Hungarian sports have lost an icon. So we wish that her soul continues to rest in perfect peace. We thank her for being around for this long and being a beacon of hope to every gymnast around the world, not just Hungarian gymnasts or Israeli gymnasts, but every Olympian. They know that they can enjoy the fruits of their labor after so many years. So, I mean, she's gone, but her memories still live on in the world of sports. And speaking of which, we move back to the EPL. Let's have those fixtures yet again. Which of these fixtures are going to stand out? We know that the biggest fixture is what we discussed. Liverpool, Man U. And I still stand on my prediction, a goalless draw. You can wipe the smirk off my face if I don't see anything like that. But for me, the key fixtures there, Spurs Newcastle, yes, important one. But the key fixtures for me will have to be 3 major fixtures, and that will be, of course, the Liverpool and Man U game. That goes without saying. And then the Chelsea Crystal Palace game at Selhurst Park is a London derby. Chelsea have an opportunity to redeem themselves. So we're watching and hoping that they do so, because I'm actually fond of Chelsea. I want them to do well because I like Enzo Maresca. I like what he's done. It's just unfortunate that they hit a rough patch at a very wrong time, but there's still a lot of football to play. And then Brighton Arsenal. I'm looking forward to that game for a number of reasons. Brighton and Hove Albion have the youngest manager in the English Premier League, and that's Fabian Hüsler, who is going to be 32 this year. And Fabian Hüsler is he masterminded Arsenal's first dropped points in the EPL this season. Arsenal had won the first game of the season 2-0 against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Emirates. Then they went to Villa Park and then beat Aston Villa 2-0. But they welcomed Brighton and Hove Albion to the Emirates. Yeah, Kai Havertz scored a fantastic lob in that game. But Declan Rice, picked up his red card under very, very controversial circumstances. You know, Veltman kicked, he kicked away the ball, but he kicked more of Declan Rice. And, you know, they said that Declan Rice stopped the ball from being restarted. He just slightly nudged it. Yes, he got the red card, but there should have been, many Arsenal fans were accusing the English FA of double standards because João Pedro, who scored the goal, the equalizer, kicked the ball away and nothing was done to him. No card was shown to him. So it's almost as if it was double standards. But when you check it very well, Declan Rice got sent off. Arsenal generally felt hard done by. And then they'll take this personal and they are going to the Amex. Brighton and Hove Albion have not been that consistent since all these things happened. And Arsenal have been in a very, very rich vein of form. Three consecutive wins in devastating fashion. They beat, they beat Crystal Palace 5-1 after beating them 3-2 in the Carabao Cup.
The narrow win over Ipswich.
And then they beat Ipswich 1-0. And then you're looking at the form player. That's Gabriel Jesus has found his mojo. He's scoring goals again. He's back at the right place at the right time. And then you're looking at the fact that Arsenal went to Brentford. Brentford, before that loss, Arsenal at their stadium, they had easily the best home record because out of 9 home games, they won 8 and lost just 1. So they went to a place that was impregnable. And even though Arsenal are missing the services of Bukayo Saka for the next 2 months, you could see that the young man, Ethan Nwaneri, deputized very well for him, had a fantastic game. And, I mean, fortune favors the brave. And Mikel Arteta was brave enough to unleash Ethan Nwaneri where it all started. Because if you remember, Ethan Nwaneri made his debut from the bench against the same Brentford in a 3-0 win in September 2022. So I think so many narratives are being brewed in this game. Arsenal know the importance of going there to get a win. Because if I've studied Arteta, I'm a big Arteta fan. I like him. I like the process that he passes his team to.
Trusting the process.
And you know, I keep on trusting the process. I just want to see how it turns out. And one thing I've noticed about Arteta since he became a manager in England, in football, is that he's very vindictive. He checks out clubs that maybe tampered with his plans, clubs that stopped him from achieving something there, and he always goes there to beat the club. He makes sure that he gets back at them. Any club that disrupted the momentum of Arsenal under his tutelage, he will do something against them. So clearly, Brighton did that. They disrupted the momentum of Arsenal, and they'll want to pay them back in their own coin. And you can see
there is another game I do want to highlight here, though. Man City.
Yeah,
Man City game.
How could you forget Manchester City?
Well, I mean, neutrals will be hoping that this is them getting their form back after their win over Leicester City.
Emphasis on neutrals.
Yes. But for the rest of those who are above them in the league, we'll be hoping that they continue in the rich vein of poor form.
Rich vein of poor form. I like what you did there. I like what you did there. Your way with words. A rich vein of poor form. Now that is brutal. That is savage.
I mean, nobody in the league likes Man City. They want to turn it to a farmers league. That's not what we want here.
Truth be told, I have to agree with you. We don't want that. We just want equilibrium. We want equality. We want the best competition that we can find. It will be a shame if that happens, but still, we don't want that to happen at the detriment of a club that is meant to be competing. We don't really want them to suffer and struggle.
A lot of neutrals will contradict what you're saying. They do enjoy the downfall of City. I mean, it's for a neutral perspective, most of them would enjoy seeing City on a poor run of form.
Okay, so let the neutrals speak for themselves. Manchester City have a big opportunity. Let's not forget that in the game against West Ham United, and let's not forget that was also how Erling Haaland announced himself as a Man City player, not in this fixture, but in the reverse fixture where he grabbed a hat-trick this season. But in the fixture, his first season in Manchester City, I remember vividly where they traveled to the London Stadium, and then he scored a brace in that game and announced himself on the English scene. But he went to that same stadium and grabbed a hat-trick this season. And he I think he scored a goal at the right time, so we would think. That goal that he scored in the game against, I think that was Leicester City, the header. And, stay humble, stay humble. Well, I don't know if he's going to stay humble.
Who can forget the stay humble chance?
So we're waiting to see how that pans out, whether Julian Lopetegui, because this is going to be an Iberian derby, that's a Spanish derby. You have Pep Guardiola, the Catalonian, and then Julian Lopetegui, I think the Andalusian, who is, he's Andalusian or is he Basque? One of the two, I can't remember. He's from Spain.
I believe.
So we have that clash, and clearly Pep has the edge, home advantage, experience advantage, but this is football.
Home advantage isn't always... I mean, we did see it set in Tottenham.
But anything can happen. Now, look, when you call clubs, so look, some things in life are constant. Rain, taxes, and then Tottenham Hotspur being Spursy. So really, I think that's that. So predictions, very quick predictions.
Newcastle to win 3-1.
Isaac on the score sheet. I'm sure you'll see that. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Villa 2-1 against Leicester City.
Villa, okay, against Leicester.
I give it to the Cherries. 2-1 against Everton.
Okay.
3-1 to Chelsea.
Okay.
2-1 to Man City.
Okay.
Brentford 3-1.
Okay.
Arsenal 3-0.
Okay.
Fulham narrow 1-0. I stand by my predictions 4-0 to Liverpool.
Okay.
And Nottingham Forest 3-0.
Wow. Okay, those are your predictions.
Those are my predictions.
Let me give my predictions. Spurs and Newcastle United, I think it's one win. Newcastle will get that win. I don't know about 3-0 or 4-0 or whatever, but maybe they will get a win, a very important win and complete the double, probably 2-1 or 2-0. Spurs can't score goals to save their lives nowadays. Aston Villa, Leicester, I think this game smells of a draw for me. It's a derby. It's a Midlands derby.
It could be a draw,
It could be a draw. And Ruud van Nistelrooy knows that he has to get his team back on track after that loss to Man City. Then the Cherries, Bournemouth, are doing very well. They will win Everton. I feel that they'll do that. We've underestimated Anthony Iraola. He has done a very, very good job so far with Bournemouth. Then Crystal Palace, Chelsea. I think Chelsea will get that win. I'll agree with you. Chelsea will get the win. Probably 2-0. I don't think they're going to score more. Or 2-1. They may concede. I don't trust that defense.
Which is why I put a 3-1.
Yeah, I don't trust that defense. So 2-1 or 3-1. Man City, West Ham United, I feel that it's going to be a narrow win for Man City. So, yeah, Man City will win, but it's not going to be a very, very straightforward win. Yeah, not a thumping. Brentford will bounce back from that loss against Arsenal and beat Southampton, probably 1-0 or 2-1. Brighton and Hove Albion, I think I'll agree with you. The Arsenal are looking, they missed some players against Brentford, and then they'll want to stamp their authority on Brighton and Hove Albion. I think it's going to be a 3-0. 3-0, yeah, I feel so. And then Jesus to score. If he starts, he will definitely score.
Okay.
Then Fulham, Ipswich. Fulham are in form. Ipswich are going to struggle. I like Ipswich. Kieran McKenna he's done well.
Wonderful job against Chelsea the last outing, I mean.
Yes, but, if there's any team that I don't want to go down,
it's
Ipswich. Yes, they've shown a lot.
I feel that I do believe come the end of match week 38, they might just survive.
Yeah, I hope so, but I don't think it's going to start today because Fulham are looking really good under Mauro Silva. Silva is going to do a good job against them and probably a 2-1. Liverpool, Man United, I still insist on a goalless draw. Let me insist on that. Then Wolverhampton Wanderers and Nottingham Forest in the Midlands Derby. The second Midlands Derby is going to be a Nottingham Forest win. And Chris Wood, the New Zealander, is really on fire. I think he's going to score if he starts.
Well, if we are to throw in a couple of goal scorers, then I will probably give Chris Wood 1 goal, Alanga if he plays well, and Odoi.
Okay, then Ola Aina assist. He's going to be involved in that if he doesn't score. Ola Aina will be in the thick of things. I'm certain, very, very certain about that. Speaking of certainty, it is a certainty that we have come to the end of this show. That's the best we can give for now on the home of sports, on Afia TV. Remember, the frequency still remains on DSTV channel 254 and on GoTV channel 17. We're going to do the same thing next week on the 11th of January, where we're going to give you a lot of results and so much on the world of sports. We thank you for staying with us. Thank you so much. Emeka, Priest of Sports, thank you very much
so
for
much
being
for
with us.
having me.
Thank you very much. And really, thank you very much. The fans are out there. Everybody, also, I want to thank, this is the brand new year, and thank everybody involved, the production crew, the cameramen, cinematographers, everybody who was involved in making this a success. We're going to do this very well. This year is going to be the best year yet, and we're going to have wonderful sports. So make sure you don't touch that dial. Keep permanently locked on Afia TV, where we're going to give you the best of sports throughout this year and beyond. Until we meet again, I remain my humble self, Sisi the Rabbi, and I'm signing out.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on your.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome to Lunch Break.
you don't